Okay, so um, I wanted to share this because I know there are a lot of feminines on my page, and it is a part of my calling to help feminines as well. And there's been a lot of energy around like how to manifest protection or masculine containers, like when you aren't in partnership. And I talked about it a little bit in one of my previous videos about like leaning into spirit, because spirit can very much so act as your container. And something I also wanted to say is like you can manifest your masculine containers and like tap into your intuition deeper the more you do your manifestation. So something that I like to do is like I always write down everything that I'm trying to manifest, the emotions behind it, what I want it to look like, how I want it to feel, and then I'll put a visual behind it most of the time. And sometimes I'll hang it up, or I'll put it on my phone, or I'll just burn it because like if I feel like I'm a little too attached to it, it's not going to come in. So I'll like do my visual and I'll literally just torch it, torch it, send it to the universe, and forget about it. And that tends to work for my energy. Um, and something I had written on my paper was like, a container from spirit. And also I had written like princess treatment, soft life, like all sorts of things. And the way it shows up in my life, especially as someone who had to learn how to be more feminine, because I need to be in my feminine to create what I want to create. And obviously, running a business, I do need to be in my masculine sometimes, but I hate it. Like, I don't like doing it. And so I had asked spirit and my ancestors to like bring energies to me that are like vetted by them, that still allow me to live this softer life without having to be so masculine all the time. And the minute I wrote that down, it was like I just had to start receiving, and then just like letting it all go. And some ways that it will show up in your life is, first you'll start to see like if you're more feminine, and it doesn't have to be like gender or whatever, but if you're more feminine, you immediately start to see, um, you know, masculine start to stare at you more out of the blue, like just really deeply staring at you, curious, like glancing, like you can feel it. Um, and they'll smile at you, like all sorts of things. And then that sort of evolves into like, okay, like now you can receive gaze, right? Or attention, because a lot of the times when you're like a more masculine feminine, there's like this urge to like be combative. Like when someone stares at you because you don't really know what's going on, you feel unsafe, like especially for me, I'm sure for you as like someone who may have experienced trauma, there's that feeling of like, can I trust this person? Do I even want to trust this person? Like, why are you looking at me like that? And then reconditioning your mind to be like, oh, I have really good energy. Oh, I look really great today. Of course they're looking at me. And like smiling and like really like taking ownership of your energy rather than allowing yourself to become the victim in your mindset and on your journey. And once that starts to happen and you like really start to take care of yourself, then you'll start to see spirit and your ancestors, like they're like testing you along the way. You'll start to see them send you specific masculine containers to help you, and they aren't necessarily romantic whatsoever. um, and that's the part of this journey that has been so nice, because for the longest time, like I didn't trust any masculines, um, for a while, or it was really hard for me to trust them because at some point, they would say something that would like, that was hypersexual or would sexualize my body or comment on my body. And I had very severe bodily trauma done to me like multiple times in my life, by family, by friends, by like strangers. And I'm petite and in stature. And so it always took me quite a bit of time to be able to heal that, not just like mentally, but physically in my body, to be able to receive touch. Like I didn't feel safe ever since I was little. And I never really let people, like touch my hair, touch my skin. Like I would literally shudder, and I would freeze. Um, and everything just like would go numb to protect myself. And I, started to hate going to like family events. I like didn't have any male friends. I think I had one male friend over the span of like 7 or 8 years. Um, and even that gets tricky because then, like even if you are friends and they have partnerships, like you want to honor that partnership. You don't want to cause any issues, right? So I had to recondition myself, and being able to work with spirit and the ancestors helped me to be able to learn to magnetize and trust the right people, because my energy was better. It was like I wasn't facing the world with all my trauma, and that's not to say like I excuse anybody from the poor treatment that I received. I was giving myself, and I give myself permission to receive a different type of um, masculine energy into my life, whether it's like a masculine feminine, which I have feminine friends who are more masculine, and they say like, oh yeah, I married a wife basically, but it works for them, right? And so they do great because I want to continue to be feminine. And especially if we have like business stuff, it works out because I don't want to do the more masculine things. And they're like, Z, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you take it. Yeah. Like, like, I'm going to go run with the butterflies. So the universe starts to deliver these things to you, and what that kind of looked like, because I've been praying a lot. Like I'm such a prayer warrior, and I always have been, and I take my prayer stuff with me everywhere I go. And I asked for protection and safety. It's a treatment and that soft life of like spirit, can I just be the tender rose that I am, and like frolic through life. And I started to meet a ton of like masculines who were super helpful, very, very helpful. And I didn't have to lift a finger. Giving like lots of compliments, carrying my bags, because you all know, as I mentioned, I have a bag vendetta. Like I don't want to ever carry my bags. I don't like carrying my bags. And just down to like protecting, like physically protecting me, even if like the group of us would go out, like clearing the way. Like I would get a drink and they would immediately open it, or like I would come to the table and they would all get up and give me their chairs, like so it's you start to realize like how deep into your feminine energy that you are. And even for my drivers and like flights like that, like it was just very synchronistic, and spirit will always tell you, and your ancestors will always tell you how to recognize them. And so I had gotten very specific messages about their markings and things like that, and someone had very similar tattoos to me, and that was one of the ways that they wanted me to recognize them. And that's how I knew I was safe. And like you can manifest this into your life if you choose to, but you have to also surrender. There's some feminines who also talk about like oh, like men are just soft, or men are whatever. And it's like, well, if that's not what you want, then like you need to change the way you think. Right? Like like for me, that was my case, because I was a masculine. I was like super masculine because I had to be, from being houseless and like all these things, not feeling safe in my family, like magnetizing really toxic friends, and like being in the fashion industry that I was in for a long, long time. It was heavily masculine, but like toxic masculine. And so I became a version of a toxic masculine and couldn't be feminine. And being black and being an intersectional femme, it was like the worst situation for me ever. But you learn to like shift out of it and change your mindset, with time as you do your healing. And this is why I work with the people that I do in my program in More Than Worthy, because then at least, even though I'm a feminine, I can hold a container for them while they learn to be more feminine and can heal and can grow and can get the resources that they need. And many of them want to manifest a masculine or some sort of stability into their life. So that goes to say, like, if you are someone who is needing that in your life, like, know that it's possible. And come see me. Like, if you need help, the link is literally in my description if you want to apply. It's 1-to-1, and like, I love it. My clients just like freaking take off because they have the container to be able to be their most authentic self and tap back in with their emotions and do their healing, which is what basically manifestation is. But those are a few different ways that you can really manifest into your reality masculine containers without having a physical masculine. And then you have physical masculines. And I will say it's really nice because as someone who, you know, travels a lot, and if you like traveling a lot, and I'm going to continue to travel for a while, feeling that safety no matter where you are, especially if you travel by yourself like I do, it's really important. It's really grounding, and it's just like a really beautiful process. It's almost like spirit and your ancestors are walking by your side everywhere, and it's not like you're gonna miss these opportunities where these people are. They're always gonna find you, but you have to be open to it. Like, if I was the type of person where, like, oh, if they're like, hey, can I help you? And I'm like, no, I like, if you do that, if you say like, no, I like blah, 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 if you're not receiving any help, you're not gonna like receive the masculine energy. So anytime someone says, can I help you? I'm like, yeah, please do all of it. Please do all of it. And I will wait further back depending on like the situation and just have them like take everything, carry this, carry that. Can you just like let it all go? And then it's like gives them the opportunity to be able to like do what they want to do energetically. It's better that way. And even having someone like, oh, I put your bag here, your other bag is here, so you can get it. And I'm like, this is great, thanks. And like, I put some food in there. I'm like, oh, fabulous, thanks. You know, so then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to like lug my things around or feel like, oh, I'm so lonely. You know what I mean? Which can happen, which, you know, I know many of you even come to my classes and, you know, start coaching and you're like, I'm lonely. I want to manifest this and I don't know how. Like, I don't want to raise my kids by myself. I don't want to like do this anymore by myself. And so don't be afraid to like come be in More Than Worthy, or, you know, do a different coaching package. I have many coaching packages that can help you, because you shouldn't be doing it alone. And I just wanted to share that and hopefully lend some insight into how I manifest it for myself. And get ready. Get ready, because there's a lot of relationships that are like close to getting together, and enjoy the ride and know that it's all taken care of. And if you're like me and you have a bad vendetta, just tell spirit and they'll handle it. They'll totally handle it. But I will talk to you all soon. Be sure to vote for my music. The link is in the description. We have 4 days to get to the next round. And it's going to get smaller and smaller group. So please, please, please share as much as you can. Many of you know I'm an activist and artist, and I do generational healing. So this is a huge opportunity for me to be able to share resources just like I did on the TV show, and advocating for houselessness and, you know, family reproductive rights and many, many, many things. This is another avenue that I can take that could literally change my entire life and change many of other people's lives as well. So please vote. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs, and I will talk to you later. Bye, friends.